It's been so long that I have met with you guys, right? So amazing opportunity for me to share some recent updates that has happened from October 1st. In the past 15 days in India, the financial landscape has changed. There are some impacts that's going to happen to you directly or indirectly. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out in depth, and most importantly, what is happening on the EMI loan moratorium, as well as what are the major changes that has happened to the health insurance perspective. Stay tuned till the end to know more about it. And if you have already not subscribed to my channel, I request you to go ahead and click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to receive notifications and help me serve you more. All right, and we will go ahead and check out all the details round. Yes. Let's begin. Okay, so this what you're seeing is my Fit Fest. So it's a financial fitness festival. If you're interested, go ahead and connect with me. We can join and we can work together on that. And this is what I was actually talking about, the impact that you will be happening that has happened from October 1st. So first one is, let's understand, buying your favorite LED TV or LCD TV will be expensive now. Why? Because whatever was the customs duty of 5%, there was a temporary exemption until 30th September that has actually got, it's revoked now, so you don't get that benefit anymore. So a 32-inch would cost you 600 rupees extra, and a 42-inch would cost you 1,500 rupees extra. It's like hardly any difference, right? So it doesn't really matter. Let's talk about the next impact that's going to happen to you from credit cards perspective. Very important. To secure the debit and credit cards, RBI has issued new guidelines. Why? Because there have been a lot of frauds, right? International transactions without your knowledge. So that's why now card users will now be able to register for few things. What are they? Opting in or out of services, spending limits for international transactions and online transactions. How cool is that? You can actually go ahead and for each of these categories, you can define what's the spending limit has to be. And in case if it's above that, no, the transaction will not go through. And contactless card transactions, you can actually opt in or opt out of it. And the next one is, if customers want to use the debit or credit cards outside India, they would need to request their banks to the facility. So by automatically, this was available before, but not anymore. Okay. Next is no more discounts for fueling up your vehicle using credit cards. Good news is that if you still use debit cards, few of them, you still get a benefit of the points or the fuel for the fuel that you input, but for using credit card, you don't get it. Okay, now let's talk about the next one, which is for the foreign payments. Yes, TCS. What is TCS? TCS is nothing but tax collected at source. Mostly, it is you can think of Amazon or Flipkart. The guys who are in e-commerce, those guys who sell in, who deals in goods or services, for them TCS is applicable. Now, there was a limit, right? If a seller is crossing the threshold of 10 crores in the previous financial year, and if the existing transaction is above 50 lakhs, then the TCS was applicable at a certain rate of interest, right? Now, in case if there's any payments that you make which is foreign payments outside India, any payment, and if it's above 7 lakhs, then there's a new section income tax act that has got inserted, 206C1G. As per that, you have to collect the TCS. Yes, so this is TCS is not a deduction; it's a collection. So opposite of deduction, where you have to collect this in addition to the money that you are actually collecting as part of your business from foreign sources. Variation is, if the remittance is made out of a loan taken for higher education, then the TCS rate will be only 0.5% of the money remitted. If not, the rate of tax is 5%. Okay. Now let's talk about it. When it comes to driving, let's have some fun. Yeah, driving, before you used to carry your DL, your registration card, and insurance papers, right? And original, by the way, not photocopies. Now, as per the new changes, you don't need to carry physical copies of DL and RC. How cool is that? So does it mean that you can actually take a photo of it and just show the photo? No. You have to actually have the soft copies via DigiLocker, or there's an app called M-Parivartan app. You need to have this. It's not through your gallery or your Google Drive. You cannot show that, and that's not as acceptable as per the law. Okay, so you need to have DigiLocker app. Go ahead and download. It's a free of cost, or M-Parivahan app. Next would be using of mobile as per the new norms is that yes, it is acceptable. It is permissible. Why? Only for using for route navigation, basically your GPS, your maps, right? It should not disturb the concentration of the driver while driving in a modern day amendment made in the motor vehicles rules. But the real question is, how do one really prove that they've been using the mobile only for GPS, and how would the cops really prove that you were not using for GPS? That's a matter of contention, any which ways. Okay, so Now let's come to LPG connection. No more free connection. What was before given as free will now be charged 2,000 to 5,000 rupees. And the next would be social media. Facebook may ban any news content that will be in the international or national news, both on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, that's just something for you now. What we're going to do is straight away get to health insurance and the EMI moratorium, loan, what is happening in India, and what's the finance landscape about that. We're going to cover it right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me put this smaller now. The video, yes, and let me bring up the screen here. Yeah. Okay. So talking about health insurance. Okay. I want your absolute attention. Very important. It has a deep, deep, deep impact on your health and your how well you protect your health. Okay. So let's go one by one. The first one is IRDAI, which is the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India. It's like RBI for banks, IRDAI is for insurance companies, has asked all the insurance to standardize the exclusions. Before, the insurance policy had a lot of exclusions which was not standard. Now they have standardized it, where diseases or medical conditions that are not covered exactly in the policy has to be specifically put up in the particular insurance policy document. Okay, the next one is the new health insurance rules post COVID 2019 will make 17 permanent illnesses outside the cover. What does it mean is that because of that, the prices of premium for health services will increase because these 17 permanent illnesses were like normally included, but now they are outside the cover. That means if you want to have those included, that means your insurance premium will obviously increase. Okay? Now a health insurance plan will cover the maximum number of diseases. Another one that you need to be aware of. Any disease or ailment that is diagnosed by a physician 48 months prior to the issuance of the health cover, that means 4 years before the health cover that you're buying today. Say, for example, now October 2020, and from October 2016 or before that, in case if there has been any diagnosis, any particular disease or ailment, that will be a part of your pre-existing diseases. Okay, and apart from that, let's say if at all once you buy a policy, after 3 months there is a symptom which has resulted with as a new disease or a new ailment, that will also be classified under pre-existing diseases. How cool is that? Yeah, before it was to take at least 2 years of renewals or 3 years of renewals for that particular ailment to get included as part of your insurance coverage. Now, just by buying an insurance policy, let's say October 2020, November, December, January. In January 2021 or February 2021, if there's a new symptom that has resulted, and that will get automatically covered. And the next one is treatment for mental illness. Stress will now be covered under health insurance policies. Before it was not there. Now this is getting included. This is a big, big, big boom for all of us because any treatment that you take for mental illness or stress will now get covered. Okay, this includes psychiatric, genetic, and This includes psychiatric, genetic, and neuro diseases, which will also get covered in health insurance plans. Neuro disorder, oral chemotherapy, robotic surgery, and stem cell therapy will also get covered under health insurance plans. Before, all these things were a matter of contention, and there were a lot of exclusions. There were a lot of claims getting rejected because of all these things. Now this is getting actually standardized. Okay. Now the last one about the health insurance is that the insurance companies cannot simply reject your claims. Okay. Now, if a health insurance plan holder has paid a policy premium for 8 years, then what's going to happen is that the insurance company cannot reject the insurance claim in the wake of a loophole in the claim. Okay. For example, 8 years now, if you're buying some insurance policy, and let's say there's something which you have actually not declared to the insurance company, which in my opinion you should not be doing. You should actually declare everything the truth the way it is. Let's say if there is any genuine miss out, and if you have paid the premium for 8 years, that is in the year 2029. After 2029, because of this particular one miss out, something happens to you and you claim, because you paid premium for 8 years, the insurance companies cannot reject it by saying that, hey, there's a loophole in the claim. Okay? Next is there will be no relook at the policy after premium payment of 8 years. Okay? And after renewal of the policy for 8 years, wrong information alibi won't work in favor of the insurance company. So this is a big boon for all the policyholders because you're covered pretty well, and these rules are actually in favor of the policyholders such as you. So if at all you have not yet already bought sufficient health insurance coverage for yourself, which I always talk about three things. One is you also always need to have, I'll call it as must have. Okay, sorry for the spelling mistake. This happens when I'm not typing pretty fast. Okay, must have health insurance policies are your basic cover that you need to take. Even if you're employed and if your employer is giving you, you need to have a separate cover for yourself. Next would be critical illness for sure. Okay, I'm going to call it as a minimum of 25 lakhs, because a cost of a kidney transplant or something, or lungs, first time chemotherapy will all cost upwards of 18-20 lakhs now. Okay, this I would call it as minimum of 10 lakhs going for family floater. Okay, uh, family floater. Okay, next would be, the third one would be a top up. Okay, top up is you going to take a minimum of uh, 5 to 10 lakhs. Okay, this really have, these three are the must-have insurance policies that you need to have. If you're not sure which one to go for, whatever, just all you have to do is just put in your comment here, okay, and get in touch with me. I will definitely guide you which is the best one to go for. Okay, next we're going to cover the last one for today is the EMI moratorium and loan restructuring. Okay, what are the changes that has happened from October 1st around this? Now, before we begin speaking of it, as we speak today, October 15th, there has been a lot of Supreme Court and government discussions happening, and there's still no final decision coming yet. But as we all know, from April till August, there was an EMI moratorium that was activated, where people who couldn't really genuinely pay the premium, the EMIs, or any type of loan repayments or credit card payments, were given that option of moratorium, which means that you don't really necessarily have to pay that money, and you can actually pay it after the August 31st time period. Now that particular thing has got ended, but now there has been a lot of contention or a lot of confusion relating to two things. Okay, first thing, existing. Let me just type in this. Okay, existing confusions, I would call it as. Okay, one is interest. Interest on interest. Okay, I got it that way. Next would be further EMI moratorium. Okay, so these two things are still under contention. It's been discussed between the government and Supreme Court. So I'm not going to cover the latest updates on this, because every day things are changing. So once we have a proper and 100% clarified stance there, that's when you will find my next video to give you a complete coverage around that. However, considering the latest updates, keeping those aside, for the interest rates reduction, the RBI has made it mandatory for banks to link their retail and MSME loans to external interest rate benchmark. What does it mean is that for the home, car, and personal loan, rates will come down. Just watch out. Okay, the rates will further come down. Next is what I spoke about. The EMI moratorium period is already over. Banks have started to recover the monies. If you're in a position that you can actually start making a payment, go ahead. Don't go for restructuring, because there are a lot of drawbacks around the restructuring. Okay, because there is an impact when we're covering that. Let's talk about what is this restructuring. Option one. Option one is you can go for 2 years more of moratorium, where example, ICICI has already come up with this particular stance, where it has announced on its website the loan restructuring details. The last it to apply is on or before 18 December 2020, where you can go ahead and opt for EMI moratorium for 2 more years. That's 24 months. You don't have to pay EMIs. Okay, though it's a welcoming measure for a few of them who have genuinely gone through hardship. My always thought is, in case if you're able to honor the payments, just go and make the payments, because any type of moratorium, any type of thing will always have a long-lasting impact, wherein your loan outflow at the end, or the amount of repayment will much be higher. ICICI Bank is offering moratorium for up to 2 years to retail borrowers under the loan restructuring scheme provided by the RBI. What's eligibility criteria? Your account standing, that is standard, should be as of March 1st of 2020. There should not have been any default as on this date. In case if there have been any default, then you are not eligible for it. Okay, then cash inflow income of the borrower must be impacted, and the bank will review the impact, and then there are some documents that needs to be submitted to the bank, which comes to the ICICI Bank example that I gave. Okay. Now what we will do is we will minimize the screen so that it will have a more focused discussion on this one. Now let me just close all these things, the one that is not required. Yes, it's much better. Yeah, right. Okay. Option two is you can go for another loan facility. Now, what is the impact of these options for restructuring? One is that the cost in the long term will be significantly high if you opt for this, and then there is at least a 35 basis points increase in interest rate. Say, for example, if you were paying 7%, now they will be 7.35%. Okay, then there will be restructuring fees that you need to pay. Okay, and most important, your CIBIL score may be impacted. I've used the word maybe because there's again a lot of confusion regarding it will be or it will not be. That's why it's maybe. Okay, restructuring of loans will be reflected in the borrower's credit report. While it remains to be seen if it will have an impact on the credit score, it will definitely impact the eligibility for future loans that if you have plans to take. Okay. Next impact, the fifth one is you cannot borrow again in near future. The moment you go for restructuring, it would be considered as risky by the bank and bankers. That's why my advice to you when it comes to this restructuring is very simple. Unless you're severely and really impacted by COVID, okay, please continue with your existing loan repayments. In fact, convert this pain into an opportunity to earn more is what I would say. Okay, I have a separate leverage income blueprint course and financial fitness festival that I do, where I help business owners and salaried individuals as yourselves to generate more cash from revamping your existing investments, your existing cash flow. We can rearrange all those, and by revamping your net worth and your insurances, you'll be able to generate more cash with your own money without any additional effort from your side. Okay, that's the beauty of what I'm going to be offering here, this leverage income blueprint course as well as a financial fitness festival. If you're interested to be part of these, go ahead and put in your comment box, I am interested, and I would definitely send you more details about this, and we can definitely work on getting things worked out super and beautiful for you. Okay. Well, this is all that I have for today. I hope this video has helped you to understand what are the main changes that is happening from October 1st. So this year has been very interesting. I would always request every one of you to take this as an opportunity. This is not a pain. It's an opportunity to bond more with your family. It's an opportunity to bond more within yourself, and opportunity for you to look at how we can actually have multiple sources of income. I always stand for financial independence. I want you to be financially independent, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Boom.